What's up, y'all? Rich Slayton here with more great action from the final day of the Queso Cup Fall Split. And what better matchup with CRL World Finals right around the corner than the #1 and #2 players on the planet in Mohamed Light and Lucas. One of the dozens of times they've faced off this year, and of course this one is no different. Tight all the way through. Let's jump right into it. Mo versus Lucas in the Queso Cup Fall Finals. Here we go, Mohamed Light, top of your screen, Lucas at the bottom. And the back and forth battles between these two have been fast-paced and high-octane the whole way through. Keep in mind, this is all before the Champions update, so you won't be seeing any champions between these two. You do see some Bandit out of Lucas and the Bomber out of Mohamed Light. So, interesting kind of fast cycle opening on both sides. Bandit gets 1-2 and a nice pickup there for the Skeletons to prevent that Bandit dash from connecting and looking like some bridge spam variant. Most likely Ram Rider out of Lucas, and it's the Earthquake here for Mohamed Light in the opposite direction. Might be a fast cycle Pigs deck from that previous meta, and there you go. Royal Hogs in the left-hand lane, a Lumberjack in response, and LJ trying to cut through those piggies. Of course, not the best response, but will have a lot on the board for the Brazilian as we go past the first minute of gameplay. And no sizzle connection, nice. Oh, the prediction snowball attempt from Lucas goes short rather than long, and the mind games already begin, or at least continue, depending on how you look at it, between Mohamed Light and Lucas. No prediction snowball, that would have been massive for the Brazilian, and a well played out from Lucas, or maybe that was a good game. I never get that one right. I need to learn more Spanish. And the Bandit does get in front of the Barbarian, not exactly what he wanted, and no King Tower activation for Mo. You saw what he was going for, but maybe that Bomber one tile too far to the inside and let that Bandit go right back to the Princess Tower. So just like that, despite being way down, Lucas now coming back in with a vengeance. Does not quite take the lead, but 899 to 833 in a decent spot here. And that Bandit does get the dash on tower. So Lucas breaks right on through here and gets a massive connection. Mo has to go ahead and give it up there with the Flaming Goblin, 833 to 419 with 48 seconds left in regulation time. What great work in both directions. Failed predictions on one side from Lucas and the failed King Out Tower activation from Mo on the other side. And it's one of those things where you see these guys both going for big time plays because you know they need to do that against each other. Magic Archer does not get the geometry. Oh, disaster here for Lucas. Bandit dashes opposite lane, but you know that he wanted that Magic Archer geometry on the tower. That's a devastating blow. Snowball to slow down these piggies. Lumberjack working, but that's going to be enough to put this very, very close again. 572 to 419, and Lucas has to make connections, whereas Mo has Earthquake Log. That Magic Archer not connecting could be a game changer. Magic Archer goes once, goes a second time. Does it go a third time? No, it doesn't. 197 left here as we go into sudden death overtime. Can Lucas get on tower? Magic Archer does finally go down to that E-Wiz, and here we go. Lumberjack, Ram Rider, Ice Golem, and the Ram Rider getting stuck. Cannot seem to break through here at all. Everything getting in its way, slowing it way down. Ram Rider gets absolutely stifled. 446, the mark on Lucas's tower. We are in sudden death overtime. Tower falls, that's game over. And Mohamed Light holding on, and that's what he can do against this deck. It's getting worse and worse for Lucas now. 374, Snowball, not in cycle here, not available. That's a ton of damage in. Ram Rider cannot connect, and there you go. Game #1 going towards Mohamed Light, and that's what that deck with no big spells will do to you. Snowball, the only direct damage in that one, and Lucas. Man, you have two moments there for Lucas. One early on in the game, goes for the Snowball prediction on those Skeletons. Doesn't get it. Mo goes for a different placement, and of course, no connection from the Inferno Dragon. But maybe even bigger is that Magic Archer. Played in a spot where it just couldn't get the geometry, just could not get that tower damage. That would have been game over. That would have been a complete game changer, game winner for Lucas. Doesn't happen. Mo able to hold off and get game #1 in the books for Mo. Great action so far. Let's jump into game #2. And both these guys, a lot of respect for each other. Two heavyweights have been going back and forth all year. #1 and #2 in the CRL rankings for good reason. Both with what they've done on ladder, but more importantly, in those monthly championships. And it's Mortar here for Mo. And his turn to run Ice Golem. Lucas most likely going with Pig's EQ, I guess, is going to be the call here. So looking like Graveyard out of Mo. Miner, interesting. So just Mortar Miner with Musk. Musketeer and Miner get shut down. Early lead here for Lucas, 23-60, and Mo pressures opposite lane. And the E-Barbs will do well against that split Pig push. Going to take a bit of damage on the right-hand side, but now 2 healthy E-Barbs on the left-hand lane for Lucas, who's pretty far behind on Elixir. Has to play that Knight in response. Won't hold off well enough. Although, nice placement. Wow. Pulls the E-Barb to the opposite lane. It should still get one swing here, and it does. And the Mortar gets a connection on top of that. So as we go past the first minute 20 of gameplay, Mohamed Light takes the lead in both lanes here, 2094 on the left-hand side, 2216 on the right-hand side. But Lucas has done damage as well. And Mo, knowing he's not against NATO, does go a little bit low here with that Miner. We might see him vary placement a bit more now that we're going through it. And now it's Mortar Cannon Cart turn for Lucas. Again, these two guys so good at so many variations of the game, but seeing these two play quick cycle decks is just a treat. It's the exact thing you want to see out of two of the best cycle players on the planet. Of course, Mo known for Mortar earlier in his career, and he's showing right now he still has the juice. Royal Hog to the right-hand side. Mortar played high. Lucas does not go for a King Tower activation. Don't think he's playing Spears or Stabs or Skellies. The 3 ways you would get that King Tower activation, which could be impactful in a Mortar Miner battle. So that tells me most likely Lucas's last card not going to be one of those two. Now that we do see the Hunter, a bit heavy here, and the low Mortar had to be a misplay there out of Lucas. Does pick up the Mortar play from Mo in the opposite lane. Spears way behind. Lucas didn't run log last game. You'd think that with EQ he might be doing it, but this might be delivery instead of log for Lucas, which would explain why we're not seeing the log being used on those Spear Goblins. Pigs go to the right-hand side. E-Barb's down. And with the E-Barb snowball, that's 8 Elixir spent on 5, but still gets a nice counterplay. And that Knight's going to get pulled back behind. Fire Spirit has to go high, and the Musketeer damage does get mitigated, but Lucas in a lot of trouble here as Mo keeps putting pressure on. Now Mortar played high enough. Cannon Cart to that right-hand lane. Mortar picked up by the Ice Golem. I think it must have been the Cannon Cart dying, maybe pushed the Mortar down low with that previous one. Not entirely sure. Mortar does connect finally. And Lucas back in this one and does go full send. Nice high poison plus snowball. Really brilliant play out of Mo here. Poison and snowball with the poison adjusted to slow. Look at that. Almost all the damage stopped with that Cannon Cart and the Royal Hog. So 10 Elixir held off by 6. Miner going to go into the back of the tower here. And again, the Knight goes front. Miner goes back. Knight gets pulled way back. And just to add a little bit more chip here, Snowball comes in and slows down that Knight. But again, that makes room for the Piggies to come in without the Snowball on defense. Mortar goes back. 1366, the mark on the right-hand side. And Mo just varying Miner placements consistently, and Lucas not able to get the pickups. And this is not the deck that really makes it so you can do double drops to prevent Miner picks. So these Miners are going to keep on touching most likely. Hunter goes high. That will at least get on the Miner faster. 814 to 518. Final 23 seconds left. Cannon Cart does go down, but will play a little bit of role here in this bridge fight. EQ in. 640 remains. Pigs do not touch. Miner does not get picked up. Poison in. That's got to be GG. I do not think there's any way for Lucas to get enough damage in time. Pigs get picked up by the Mortar. All 4 of them, in fact. EQ trying to work. And that's going to be a nice 2-0 in a back-and-forth battle between Mohamed Light and Lucas. One of many, but check that one off for the Prince of Egypt. He gets the dub here in that Queso Cup World Final. Of course, more action from both of these two players in the Queso Cup World Finals, but that's one for Mohamed Light. and that's what you come to expect, is a close battle back and forth between these two, and a great win there for Mo. And another huge money tournament that these two guys keep on going back and forth in. Man, I think I say back and forth so much because that's the nature of the game between Lucas and Mo. Lucas takes one, Mo takes one. Mo takes one, Lucas takes one. And speaking of which, we have one more great battle for you here today. This one from the Royale Masters competition that just took place. Lucas and Mo. This one is a game 3 between these two. And I'm going to go ahead and let myself from the past and Eric Benamou go ahead and take the action on this one. Go ahead and enjoy it. This is an absolute banger to close things out. An extra, a bonus between Lucas and Mo. 3 between the top 2 players in the world, and it's Mo running minor wall breakers, it looks like, and Lucas Cage Fire Spirit. I'm trying to think, and it is Royal Hawks.
Yeah, so he's right. Oh, Bomb Tower.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Bomb Tower variant. You don't see a ton of that.
We're in for a good one. Whenever they both have counters to each other, that's when like you get beautiful NATO there as well from Mo. And
Come on. Come on, this is what you want to see between these two. Does he pop it? And he does. Knight to pick up, so you see a nice clean pickup and will prevent all the damage. So at the moment, Mohamed Light in the lead, 22-79 as the first minute of gameplay passes. I'm seeing in the chat tons of votes each way. A lot for Lucas, a lot for Mohamed Light. Winner will go on and face Wallace in our final match of the day in a moment. And yeah.
Julesy, stop. Let us enjoy it.
But this isn't even an off-meta deck. This is,
this is just a great pick.
This is just a great pick. This was the most popular version of minor wall breakers with Magic Archer before Bomb Tower got nerfed and Tesla became the meta. But this is a long-standing meta deck, just a great pick. Speaks to Mohamed Light's strengths and matches up great here against Pigs.
Bomb Tower or Fireball, he's always going to have one or the other available to him. That placement does allow one Hoggy to go through, but it's not that big of a worry. He has a Miner in his hand at any time. He does have Fireball as well, and he cycles just as quickly, right? You're usually worried about that Earthquake cycle, but when you're looking at Mo's deck, he cycles just as fast. He was able to bait out the delivery on the left-hand side, which forces the cage on the right. It doesn't really work all that bad because he is going to be able to use that Goblin to take care of that, and a Knight should come here on the left. Wow,
Bomb Tower. So does he split Pigs here? And yes, he does, although Bomb Tower does get one shot. Splits Pigs maybe a half step early, but the Brawler's still alive. The NATO doesn't do its job, and just like that, Lucas takes the lead as we go into the final 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be one heck of a finish here, and that Miner should always get a little bit of chip damage. This Archer Queen, nice pull there of the ability, going to take care of absolutely everything. That Magic Archer could have got very dangerous. It did get one hit on tower, if I'm not mistaken.
It did, as at the very end there, 1391 now to just around. Oh, and there you go. Lucas gets the lead back here. NATO does activate King Tower, but at this stage, at what cost? And at this stage, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, he took so much damage there. I think it might have even just been better to pull that back and defend it. Yeah, it's going to help you out, but at the same time, you just lost the lead by 300. It's not like it was a 200, 150 thing. That is a major difference. You're going to have to Fireball. This Magic Archer is going to go down to that Archer Queen as well. No, it's not.
No connection from the Wall Breakers. Nice Skeletons played there by Lucas. And still very, very tight. 90 seconds left. This Miner will get some damage on tower. Nope. Picked up by the Skeletons plus Fire Spirit. One swing in, plus some Magic Archer damage. The delivery. Unbelievable. 8:15 on the top right-hand side, and lead goes back again. The lead changes, flying back and forth as we approach our final minute.
That Magic Archer getting so much value. I would like to see him play a Miner in the front at this point. He's going to have to defend here. Does he have anything for it? Yes, the Knight goes in. I would like to see a Miner in the front just to try and bait out some Magic Archer damage, and that is very tough. He is going to be able to Earthquake this, get a ton of value. Fireball needs to come in here. He doesn't have an option.
Fire Spirit behind just for pressure, forces out the response, so there's the 2 elixir response. Spears come down. Nice NATO out of Mohamed Light. EQ and Hogs on the left-hand side, 119 top right-hand side. Does Fireball win it? Fireball doesn't win it! Lucas wins it, beats the Fireball out by a second, and that's why you love seeing these two guys go head-to-head.
Oh my.
Oh my word. Clip that on Twitch. Please clip that. Unbelievable. That's right, unbelievable. And that's what these two deliver every single time. Unbelievable matchups. And of course, we get to possibly have more of that as we go into Clash Royale League World Finals very soon, December 3rd through 5th. Make sure you check that out. And of course, make sure you go to the links in the description. I've included the Royale Masters Discord and Twitter in the description below because it's an open competition that anybody can join. That meets you. So maybe next time, next year, when they run this one back, you can face off against Lucas or Mo Light, against one of these top tier pros, and play for that $25,000 prize pool they had there. So go ahead, check out that link in the description. And of course, check out the other matches from this same event. Lots of stuff from the Queso Cup, the entire final day. I'm putting out in pieces as time goes on, so hopefully you enjoyed this one and come back for more. Of course, on top of all that, if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel, like this video, put some notes in below, comment below with what you want to see in terms of these games, and of course, don't forget to use code RICH in the Supercell shop, no matter what game you're playing, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans. If you use that code, it helps me out a ton, and of course, if you don't use my code, use someone's code, support a creator. It's a great thing to do. That's it for today's video. This has been a fun one. Man, that finish of Mo versus Lucas was so cool. I cannot wait for Clash Royale League World Finals. I will see you there, and as always, make sure to be excellent to each other.